Hello, the Jessie Pepper and Paste. Hello, the Jessie Sugars. Welcome back to my channel. This is Jessie, beautiful Jessie the Pepper and Paste, Jessie the celebrity. Welcome back to our channel. I want to say compliment of the season to everyone who's watching my video, to everyone who have supported me so far this year. I don't know what I would have done without you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I pray that God grant you all your heart desires as we have a few days to round up this year 2022. No matter what, I just want you to stay strong because the battle is of the Lord, right? Hold him, and I'm sure it's going to come true for you as always. So today I want to talk about something differently. I want to talk about the Nigerian habits that I stopped doing as a Nigerian. Some of you will be wondering what kind of habit is this lady going to be talking about. You know that growth is something that is constant. Growth is something that happens over a period of time, and I am one of the person that's of the mindset that when you learn something new and you know this thing is going to help you psychologically, academically, morally, spiritually, career-wise, you should try as much as you can to implement. And yes, and these are some of the things you are going to see, and you are going to see most Nigerians in Ghana doing and are doing, and you'll be wondering the reasons why. And that is why you just have to watch this video to the end. Don't skip. Don't skip. First thing first, which is going to be about greeting. Of course, yes, the greeting. I'm a Nigerian. We love greeting. As an adult, as a mom, as a grown-up, I know that when I see my younger ones, those I am very, very sure that I'm older than, I think and believe that they ought to say good morning. They ought to greet, of course. And I'm also expected to do the same when I see my elderly ones in one way or the other. We all know that in Nigeria, we have different tribes, we have different culture. We have more than 200 of them. Tribes. Nigeria is a multicultural country. The way we greet as Nigerians and in Nigeria is quite different from the way that Ghanaians greet in Ghana and the kind of greeting you're going to see in Ghana. In Nigeria, the Igbos, Hausas, and Yoruba, which are the main ethnic group we have, they enjoy greeting. As a person, while I was growing up, when you want to greet an elderly person, you have to bow. Okay, you don't just stand or sit and greet an elderly person. You don't. No. You don't try that, because if you do, you are going to be seen as someone who is very disrespectful, someone who doesn't have good home manners, somebody who wasn't trained properly. This is the way the elderly ones are going to look at you, and they will say it to your face. You don't get respect, your man will train you well, or you decided to throw your home manners to the trash. And they are going to say it in a very shameful way, in a way that we are going to be embarrassed. Trust these mamas and papas we have here and there. There are people who prostrate while they greet. The Yorubas prostrate, their men prostrate while they greet, while their women have to kneel. But because of modernization, they no longer kneel, neither do they prostrate, except when you go to a typical village setting. What they do is just to put their hands on the chest and have a bow, and the women will just to have lower their waist down in a way showing you that they are greeting you and they are respecting your presence and all that. And the same thing is similar to the Igbos as well as to the Hausas. There are other ethnic group in Nigeria that does the same, but for the purpose of time, these are the things we are going to say in Nigeria. In Ghana, it is the opposite. What is obtainable in Nigeria is not seen in Ghana. And as a typical Nigerian, born and raised in Nigeria, married to a Nigerian, and all the Nigerian vibes, culture, and all that is just in here. I'm going to say this, that if I see an elderly person, I'm expected to greet them. For example, if I go to a house of an elderly person, I am supposed to say good morning, whether in English or in my local dialect. And then, if an elderly person walks into my house, I'm also expected to be the first person to greet. But in Ghana, it's not the same. In a typical Ghana community, an elderly person walking into your house, for example, if I have a woman or a man who is in their 50s, I'm not up to 50, so typically I should be the one greeting as a Nigerian. But the Ghanaian has to greet me first because he or she was the one who came to my house. So they have to salute first, then I in return can now greet them accordingly. Okay, so this is what is obtainable. You dare not do that in Nigeria. You see, I don't know, irrespective of your age, your gender, your status, and whatever you have, you don't have to see an elderly person, whether they're in your home, in your shop, or wherever you meet them, and you're expecting them to greet. Who born your mama? Like who born your father? This is the kind of things they are going to be saying in their hearts. Yeah, so guys, this is how the greeting system or pattern actually is in Nigeria as well as in Ghana. The second thing I'm going to talk about here is the fact that we help our elderly people a lot. Like, I don't know of now. I think things have changed from the way it used to be. Like 10 to 15 years ago, I on my own, there were very elderly people that I know they need help, that I go on Saturdays when I'm free or anytime that I feel I'm available to help them clean their house, to help them cook, if there's something I can cook for them, to run errands here and there. But in those days, I don't know if these things still happen in the village setting, in the villages, because in the town and cities where I am, everything has gone south. Everything is no longer the way it used to. A child as young as an 8 to 10 years child will want to get money in return for whatever services they're offering to you. Okay, unlike in those days where we can see a woman carrying a load of woods or a bunch of woods, firewoods, and you go to help them, or you can see a woman who needs water. You know, this woman doesn't have any close family member, or the children are not staying with her. You can just help her go fetch 1 or 2 buckets of water, or come around to wash plate for them. These services has gone. But when I was much younger, I do those things personally. I have done them a lot. Even while I was in the university, I've seen a lot of people who need my help. In as much as sometimes it wasn't even convenient for me. Maybe I was tired, I wasn't in the mood or something, but I just have to do it because this was the orientation I grew up with. And even till date, when I see people who needs my help, especially the elderly ones, I try as much as I can to do it. If I can't, I look for someone who I can pay if I have the money to help them out to carry out that service. That has been part of my life, and I don't know if these things have finally or totally gone away, or if it's the city or the place where I found myself. Ghanaians have what kind of eyes when it comes to a Nigerian. So if you're a Nigerian and you see an elderly person and you want to help them with a good intention, you just have to have a second thought, because we have made more of bad names for ourselves than the good names. So, and that is why most times when a Nigerian sees an elderly Ghanaian, they rarely will not even think of coming to help, except it's life or death related issue where they want to come to your aid. But other than that, they may not, because the moment you approach an elderly Ghanaian or a Ghanaian who needs help, they may feel, oh, this is a Nigerian, no? Especially when you open your mouth and your Nigerian accent just sold you out in a minute. They're going to be wondering, oh, why is this person coming to help? Does this person want to scam? Does he or she want to take something away from me? Does he or she wants to harm me? These are some of the things that comes to their mind, and that is why if you are a Nigerian in Ghana, you don't know this person, as you know them, they know you, they know where you live, you have a mutual relationship with them, just don't do it, okay? So that is why. So Ghanaians in the house, what's up? I want you to tell me if you still do those things in Ghana. I know that in Accra, in Kumasi, and in some of the big cities that those things may rarely be found, but in other places like the northern Ghana, please just let me know if these things are still obtainable, helping the elderly, okay? The third point is the fact that Nigerian parents rarely mind their business. This is a fact, okay? As a Nigerian, everything I'm going to say is something I know. It's not something I've heard. It's something that at one point in my life I equally experienced it. And Nigerian parents will want to know everything happening in the next person's house. Now, maybe these things are not common because of modernization, or that is not common because the way things are happening and people are becoming careful of each other, okay? But the much I know, and I still know, everyone is interested in every other person's affair, okay? Especially those of our parents who are not really literate and who are not really exposed. The moment they sees you, for instance, you are going to the market and you run into any of them, and maybe these are people you know in the past or people living around you. They will ask you about your mother. How is your mom? How is the business? Is it doing well? Is it going down? They will ask you about your daddy. Is he at home? Is he traveling for Christmas? They will ask you about your sisters, like your siblings. And Amaka, what about Amaka? Amaka, is she getting married? Is she engaged? Or what about her husband? Or is she married? When is she having her next baby? Or why is that she doesn't want to get pregnant? Very private things that anyhow person should come asking you. These are questions they are going to ask you, and literally this thing has totally nothing to do with them. They are so inquisitive. See, showing concern to your neighbors, showing concern to people is a very good attribute, is a very good virtue. But when you do those things excessively, raising unnecessary eyebrows. Why is this person asking all those questions? What does she want to do with them? Especially when it's these people are people you really do not have any like deep kind of relationship with. Most Nigerian parents are poke nose into. In the Ghanaian community, it is really fun there. The much they can do is hi, good morning, good afternoon. Sometimes I do not even know the next person who is living with them, and maybe when you don't have a very close rapport or mutual relationship with them, they just see you, greet you, and move. If they don't know you on that intimate personal level, it's just hello, hi kind of greeting, and everybody goes their ways. And I think that to an extent that we Nigerians should learn this. That's why I say to an extent, so you don't come cussing me on the comment section. Yes, we should learn those things and try to be moderate when we show concern. In Nigeria, we do not have a health insurance. Of course, it's no longer in use. But in Ghana, there is what we call health insurance. So if you're in Nigeria moving over to Ghana, if you are from other African countries where health insurance is like I'm praying for manna to fall down, you have to know that the moment you get to Ghana, if you want your health to be guaranteed, if you want to always constantly be in good health, you have to get a health insurance. For us, it is good here. There are still top organizations, top companies that have health insurance with very standard hospitals, but the health insurance is not for the common man in Nigeria. Like I speak to you, it's not something common. It's not even something that people are so knowledgeable or knows about. So you have to get your health insurance, because for us as Nigerians, our health insurance, our neighbors, our friends, our family, because the moment we break down, these are the people we run to. I love that aspect of community and togetherness. I love that aspect that your neighbors can contribute, come to your aid and help you in times of need. And yes, that is one beautiful thing about it. This is one habit you are going to drop as you're moving to Ghana. You are going to learn to be independent, like fight for yourself, fight for your life, fight for everything. Yes, you just have to hustle just to get going. Okay, the last point I'm going to be leaving here is about a marriage. When I got married, I am the first child of my parents. God be praised. When I was about getting married, every expenses was done by my husband. In my own place, we have a tradition where for the traditional rites, my parents are supposed to do the cooking, do one or two stuff for us. But when you come to a family where they're not financially buoyant to execute such thing, and the groom he comes in to help the family. Okay, that is the way it is done in the side of Anambra, where I come from. But it is not so when it comes to the Imo people. When you're marrying an Imo person, just get ready. You must be financially prepared. Worse is when you're marrying an Mbise, the number of tubers of yams you are going to be asked to bring, the wrappers you're going to, it's not even just Mbise, even Owerri. The tubers of yams, the wrapper, provisions, like they'll ask you to bring milk, tea, not just one, the biggest size, like 2 or 3 of them. They are going to ask you to get wrapper like 10, 15 for the mother of the bride. They are going to ask you to get gallons of wine. Like, I don't even know if they are selling off their child. I know that this tradition differs from tribe to tribe. So as a man, if you're getting married, whether in the traditional way or in the church way, you just have to be financially prepared. You just have to have some money somewhere that you're going to use to fund every other expenses, because as a man you're also equally expected to buy clothes for the bride's mom, and then if you want to be so nice enough, you can buy clothes for the younger ones or for the siblings of the bride, especially if you're marrying the first daughter. Just like me, I have younger ones. So when I wedded, I actually bought materials and get the money to buy the kind of dresses they want. Then I was equally a student, so I didn't contribute. This is what is obtainable in Nigeria, especially in most part of Nigeria. But in Ghana, it is believed that when a man and a woman are getting married, they jointly make a contribution for their marriage. In Ghana, there are certain communities that practice patrilineal or matrilineal system of inheritance. What it means is this. Like, for instance, if I'm a Ghanaian woman and I'm getting married, I will have to go to my father's house. Okay, every traditional rite will be done in my father's house. While there are some other places in Ghana, if I'm getting married as a Ghanaian, I'm going to go to my mother's people. The list of things that will be bought, everything that will be carried out will be brought from my mother's side and will be done in my mother's place. I actually got married in my father's house. That is the way it is. I don't know if there are other tribes or ethnic group that does the opposite, but our system here is, as a bride, as a woman, you have to go to your father's house to do every other traditional thing. But in Ghana, you can do both. Those from the Akans and Kumasi from the eastern parts of Ghana practice the matrilineal system of marriage. In Nigeria, if you are getting married, it is a norm for us. You have to travel from wherever you are, from your base. For instance, if you're living in Lagos and you're from Imo State, you have to travel from Lagos to Imo State to perform the traditional rites. But in Ghana, you can actually do whatever rite it is in the place where you are, provided the family are there, you do your thing there. But when you do such thing, it is seen as a taboo. It is frowned at in Nigeria. Just let me know your thoughts on the comment section. This is all I can say, and here come your way next time. Keep it just like I am. Compliment of the season. Share your rice, your meat, your drinks, and everything beautiful in between.